So what are the next steps? The next vote is tomorrow at 11, but with us now is Raczkowski, former majority leader of the Michigan House, to kind of help us break down some of what we are seeing. Thank you for being here.
That's my pleasure.
So this first round shows that we still have quite a ways to go. Are you surprised at all by what we're seeing?
No, not at all. We never anticipated that Jim Jordan would be able to win in the first ballot, and there's speculation that he might have a second or even a third ballot, but we'll see what happens. And if that doesn't work out, then Patrick McHenry might be the speaker or acting speaker, as the speaker pro tem may have additional powers given upon him to act as speaker.
So the House is unable to get a lot of important tasks completed because of this. How long do you think this could stretch on?
Well, I'm hoping that it doesn't stretch on too much further. Obviously, the members of the House realize that there's an issue that needs to be brought in front of the House, and that is assistance to defense spending and assistance to Israel, as well as Ukraine and Armenia, and our national defense issues. We're also facing a potential government shutdown again in about 3 more weeks. So obviously, having a speaker is very important, or having someone in that seat that has the power to give the authority to the committees to do their work.
Yeah, when McCarthy went through this process, we know that there were several rounds. Given the nature of where things stand right now and the fact that there is so much to get done, do you think we could see something like that again, or do you think that that will help expedite things and get them more unified?
Well, I truly believe you're asking me what I think. I would like to think that it would teach the caucus a lesson that they should move their business along and kind of do this behind closed doors and then come out united. But what's interesting is one thing that's very positive here is that it shows that the Republican Party is not a group of lemmings. It's a group of individuals that fight for either their district or what they believe in. And they don't take orders from anyone in Washington or from some big donor like others would do.
What do you attribute to such a great political divide? Because this is something that we've been seeing for years now.
Well, yeah, I think that there's more of a populist movement in politics, and that populist movement has torn the political extremes away from the middle. So now you have a center right, you have a center left, and you have an extreme left and an extreme right. And there's battles within each party. The interesting thing is that the Republicans haven't happened to be in the majority. So you're seeing more fights within the Republican majority. But when Democrats were in the majority, you saw fights internally, but those fights were controlled by those that controlled the purse strings amongst the Democratic Party.
Yeah, and given the energy in the room and the political infighting and everything that's happening, what sorts of challenges do you see this new speaker facing once they are chosen?
To maintain the flow of the committees and about the work that's coming out of there. And obviously, the new speaker, whoever it will be, will have to work with the Senate majority, which is now a Democratic majority by 1 or 2 votes. And we'll also have to work with the president's office, the executive office. But the key here comes down to, again, we're facing another government shutdown. Are we going to get a continuing resolution, or are we going to get budget bills passed that actually fund the government as the Constitution dictates?
Yeah, and if this continues, this could really have a very negative impact on the people, even though it already is, but it could get even worse, right?
I believe so. It really could. But again, I think that the caucus, the Republican caucus or the majority caucus, is smart enough to realize this and conduct their business behind closed doors and get on the same sheet of music as far as picking one individual that can lead that caucus into the future.
Yeah. I mean, so many different important issues now on the line. Of course, we have the war that is now still brewing in the Middle East and the other ongoing war with Ukraine. All of these things now dependent on us unifying and making a decision here.
Sure. But, we also keep forgetting about there's a third war that nobody's talking about, and that's in Armenia as well. That is an issue, and potentially starving off a potential greater world war with Iran being involved, China and Russia, that have created this brand new axis of evil that are creating these skirmishes and creating these headaches for this administration. So it requires this administration to get their house in order and act tough on the world scene but also we need a House and a Senate that's ready and able to act. So all of our politicians need to get their act together. We need to have leaders. Once upon a time, Lee Iacocca, who used to be the CEO of Chrysler Motor Corporation, no longer in existence, but Chrysler Motor Corporation, wrote a book. He wrote a book of where are all the leaders? And you can ask actually that question again today. Where are our leaders?
Yeah, certainly hoping we see some resolution soon. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Have a great night.